Welcome to another episode of YouGrind, and I have here.
Anthony Moore.
And who is Anthony Moore?
Anthony Moore is somebody who, I guess for this podcast, for the subject matter, I am an artist, born and raised here in Contra Costa County. I was born in Martinez, actually, and had a little bit of a rough childhood. And because of that, art became my escape and my safe place.
Hold on.
Okay.
Rough? In what kind of format of rough?
My parents were drug addicts.
Okay.
And I grew up, somewhere between the streets and kind of shelter. It was sort of a, my parents would do whatever they could to get us in an apartment or something, and it seemed like every 6 months we were evicted. Mm-hmm. So there was a little bit of living in an apartment with no food, no cable, and then we were in a car for a little while, and then it was just a lot of chaos, a lot of this and that, people's houses, friends' houses. Lived in a garage for a little while, and
just an unstable upbringing.
Very, very unstable. Yeah, A lot of chaos.
Did you have siblings?
Yeah, I had a brother.
Okay, younger or older?
4 years younger.
4 years younger, so you're the older one.
I'm the older one. Mm-hmm.
All right. Sweet. Not the older one.
Yeah, that's okay. We all have our place. But when I say that, I don't know if it's just me, but I never really say that to get sympathy, because what's kind of odd is I actually really enjoyed my childhood. Either that, and I'm suppressing a bunch of trauma that for whatever reason I don't allow to affect me. But I kind of had a lot of fun. I was very free. I think I was embarrassed a lot at school because you're constantly sort of being ranked and compared, and my clothes were, from the Goodwill.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, that was your rank in school, your sneakers.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, I don't remember much of that.
You might have had a similar situation.
No, I was sheltered. My parents were responsible.
Oh, okay. They took care of you. Yeah, good.
But your childhood's everything.
Yeah, it's like the whole when you're sailing a ship or whatever, if you're a half a degree off, doesn't mean much for a mile, but 100 miles later you're 100 miles off.
So do you remember a specific moment of your childhood that you're like, yeah, this was really fun?
Yeah, maybe not a specific moment, but a cluster of moments that were alike, and it really was the freedom, and it's just being on my bicycle and kind of running amok, and being like a little tramp, fooling around in the town, and mischief. Nothing horribly dangerous, but also not really good either. That sweet spot of mischief where I'm a knucklehead, but not a demon child,
Right. But at least you had a childhood. Now kids nowadays have an iPad or whatever.
Yeah. I really got my entertainment outside,
You got to touch grass.
I touched grass and other things, but yeah, it was dirt and whatever. But I actually had a lot of fun.
What led to art, though? And what kind of art?
Yeah, so the art, you can only be outside so much. You also have to be home. You also have to eat. You have to go to school. So there were
homework.
Homework. I didn't do homework. I just didn't do homework.
So did you not pass a lot of classes?
I flunked out horribly.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I did terrible in school. I did not have a good school experience. Part of that was probably what was going on at home, and the other part was that I did, just the way I am and the way I was raised, yes, I took art as a way to escape some stress at home, or maybe some anxiety. But I had this square or rectangle, a piece of paper, and I could make up my own world,
Mm-hmm.
and that was something I can control. I can make it beautiful. I can make it dark,
You're talking paintings
painting
or
and drawing. Yeah.
drawing.
So yeah, because that's a readily available thing, a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. So basically, yeah, I would just draw all the time, make up things, characters or little worlds. And then I'd also draw what I would see, it could be a car or
Is
anything.
there a specific drawing that sticks out that you're like, okay, I'm I'm pretty good at this?
Yes, and it was an assignment, and I remember I was only 8 years old, and I was told to draw something. I think sit down and draw something that you looked at, and I went outside and I sat, and there was in Martinez, California, there was a little place called Foster Freeze, or maybe Foster's Freeze technically, but I think everybody just said Foster Freeze.
Is that a park?
No, no, it's like a burger ice cream joint, like an
Gotcha.
old diner kind of.
Doesn't exist anymore.
I think there are a few left in the Bay Area, but the one in Martinez is no longer there.
Okay.
But it was there for a long time, and it was a great place to get ice cream. And I sat there, I just drew the building,
Mm-hmm.
but for an 8-year old, it was very impressive.
Okay.
And I don't think I ever took the time before that. Maybe just I don't really know, because that's my first memory of, oh wow, that's pretty good. And you kind of see what the other kids do, and you're like, well, I guess I'm good at this.
Okay. As an 8-year-old, because I
Yeah,
don't even remember what I was doing at like 12 or 10.
yeah. It was pretty early. It was pretty early. And then I think after that, then you know, again, I have this pencil and this square, this little thing where I can control and make these worlds, right? Well, you're given an assignment in class. Well, I flip that piece of paper over, and I follow my heart, my pat. I don't want to do math. I would rather draw this little world. It was more important to me, and I did that a lot. And
Is that why you failed?
I failed a lot. I
Yeah.
failed a lot, but I succeeded in what I wanted to do.
Right, right. Okay. And this was in like elementary, middle school.
Throughout high school. I
Throughout.
never broke the habit or the passion. So I drew and never did my homework.
So I'm guessing you just kind of passed with C's and D's.
Yeah, yeah. I, when you're getting into high school, it gets a little more serious. So, you're like, oh, well, I have to graduate. You have to graduate high school. It's important. So, I tried. I think my sophomore year, I did pretty good. I got like a B average. And then it fell apart after that. And I kept drawing, I guess. But I was good at tests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I passed the tests. I did pretty good on tests.
Okay.
It's just the homework. Don't tell me what to do when I go home, man.
Right, right.
That's my time. But also, I was pretty much drawing in class too.
Was there anyone in your life that kept encouraging you to do art? Or a professor or a teacher that really believed in you, or somebody, or you're like, this is what I love, so I'm gonna just keep doing it.
Sadly, no, and I mean that, and I'm probably gonna offend, loved ones and mothers and fathers and people who always liked that I did art or this or that. But believe it or not, I actually never really had anybody push me. In fact, my whole life, I was always sort of fighting to create space and time to do what I love. On the contrary, it was always, you should be doing this or you should be doing that. You're talented, but you have responsibilities or X, Y, Z. But that I did have a friend who was a fellow artist.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like it wasn't he wasn't telling me, yeah, man, you should keep going, but he was the same as me, and so we found comfort in each other, and we bonded, and so we were able to um, almost see like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one. This isn't that weird. So uh, it's okay. Keep going. I have somebody who's the same, and that it's company,
Yeah.
and that helped.
What is something people don't know about you that you're willing to share?
Well, I'm pretty honest. I don't really hide anything from anybody. What if they don't know about me? I think I care more about almost everything, and I care more about people and doing the right thing than I think I get credit for. Um, I can get I can be criticized often for being maybe neglectful or aloof or irresponsible, but I keep my struggles to myself, and I don't think people see how distracting it is to be an artist, because I think people romanticize what an artist is, that you have this cool ability, and you just have fun and listen to music and make these paintings, but they don't realize the burden of the distracted mind.
It means you feel more.
There's an internal thing going on, and and when you have this going on, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You're constantly stirred up inside, and that actually has an effect. You lose your keys, or you forget a date, or you do this or that, and um, and then naturally people see you as unreliable, irresponsible, or you don't care, and that sucks. But that's just kind of part of it.
Yeah. True. True that.
So just reiterate, I do care a lot, but I just can't. you know, it's a disability, not
Well,
the
I learned that
I'm willing.
caring and the way people interpret care, or you know, not neglecting, is different because we all take things differently.
hmm Yeah, yeah, it's very complex, very
Yeah.
nuanced, and it's just hard to pin down. That's for sure.
Good. Don't take yourself too seriously.
Oh, that's good advice. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, maybe I take it too seriously, and it's good to laugh about my shortcomings or whatever and not take it so seriously. For sure.
Yeah. If I take myself too seriously, it's not good.
It's not
It's
good.
not good.
Oh man, it's stressful.
Yeah. Very important question.
Okay.
You have to answer this right. And I
Okay.
ask everyone.
Is that what the gavel is for?
It could be.
Okay.
Do you believe in aliens?
Oh,
I don't know.
here,
I
here.
was avoiding using it because you're kind of more in the serious side, but yeah.
Oh no, no, no. I just have a poker face. It's weird because I think mathematically it's almost insane to think that there aren't aliens.
Mathematically.
Mathematically,
Explain.
I understand that mathematically it is also insane, what we are experiencing here on Earth. The probability of all this coming together in the way that it did, the balance and all the insane amount of variables to make this Earth function in the way that it is there's it's a lot of math. So there's that in contrast to also how vast the universe is. So even despite how mathematically insane it is for a world to support life like Earth, um, it is equally insane how big the universe is. So, in conclusion, the odds are, yeah, there's probably some life out there. And then you get into like the theological thing, believing in God, or are we unique? Is this a is this a experience that we are here, before something else? Is this all? Are we the center of the universe? For a reason, because of higher powers. That messes with the the reality, the calculations. Does that not answer your question?
Yeah, you believe in all sorts of things that's out there. You have the ocean, you have the sky, you have, yeah, whatever else.
I just don't. I don't see why there can't be. You know what I mean? But I also think it's just weird to like put the stake in the ground and say, yeah, there's aliens. And also, man, what is an alien? I mean, the bug-eyed, frail green guys, probably not. But they're all.
At least that's what they exposed to us.
It's also, yeah, I know, yeah. And they're actually kind of humanoid. They're not that far from humans. And what's interesting is that there is, you can argue we are the top of the food chain.
Here on Earth.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we are. I mean, yeah, naked and on an island, sure, a tiger will take me out. But will it? I mean, if it catches me off guard, but with my wits, it's a pretty good match.
Yeah.
I could outsmart the lion or the tiger.
I would not put myself in that situation.
Well, it would be scary.
Have you ever been
in the jungle naked with the
or
lion?
like out and about in nature and
Yes, I have, and
in danger?
No, I don't think in real danger, like any kind of like serious survival situation. Nah, but I do like camping. I mean, I've been out there. I've been in the woods. Sure.
Bigfoot?
I do not believe in Gigantopithecus.
No.
No. I don't. I think by now we would have discovered him.
Well, I seen some footages online.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't mean anything, but I'm hopeful.
Well, it's one of those things that if we got some, it's the same thing with ghosts. It's just like, come on now. I mean, it's always some fuzzy video. I mean, with all those like, what are those cameras that they put on trees? Those motion detector like game watching.
I thought it was just like a security camera.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they put them up in trees and nature.
Okay.
I think to either monitor like big cats or they're like they go off when they sense motion.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's a lot of that now. I'm just saying by now we would have seen a ghost or we would have seen a Bigfoot.
They're spirits for sure.
I believe in a spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that on the record, and I really am. I have just experienced weird stuff that is like.
I just imagined you drawing at night. Yeah, that was just what I just saw. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that happened. So.
And then, have you like encountered anything at night while you were drawing?
I have had stuff happen to me that I really keep close to the chest because it's ugly and weird and scary.
You know, I'm gonna ask what it is. That's my job.
All I can say is that I have felt I have felt my soul get sucked out of my body. Not I mean.
Were you on drugs at this time?
No, young kid. This happened to me when I was young, and a lot.
And a lot.
It happened. It happened quite a bit.
A lot.
It happened often.
A lot.
Pardon my poor English. It happened often. I don't. We're talking hair raising on your neck kind of stuff, and for no reason. Nothing spooked me. Nothing fell. No sound. Sometimes there's an explanation for everything. just sitting there, probably drawing or whatever, and then you just feel it's not a physical temperature change, but it is a cold, just a really scary, dark energy, and that feeling came to me many times when I was young, probably between the age of 10 and my teens, yeah, for a good 10 years or something. For whatever reason it went away. So,
Did it help you draw?
no, not at all. I never used that for inspiration. It's too ugly. It's just not um I don't really I really don't know how to explain it. And that's why it's like, well, that's got to be something, some energy, some spiritual thing,
Were
something.
you going through like some hardships
Well,
around that
I
time?
was, but I've always had hardships, and I don't really know.
What that was about?
There are probably child psychologists that would say it's a trauma response, but it just made no sense. It was just everything's fine, and it happened in different places. So it wasn't like, oh, it was that house. That house was haunted or whatever. And it wasn't also at night. There wasn't night terrors. You hear about people that have you ever had one of those
No.
where you wake up in a what is it called, like a hypnagogic state or something like that? You're half awake, half asleep.
Right.
People have expressed that feeling, and they have like a pressure on their chest. Have you heard of that?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I have not.
But you've not
experienced
experienced it.
Yeah.
I have actually experienced that. And it's pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
But not just that, and not just one place, and not just in the dark. It happened in broad daylight outside. Um, yeah, it's pretty heavy spiritual stuff. At this point, if I had to bet, it would be some kind of spiritual thing.
If you put it in drawing, what would it be?
It would probably be a little boy and just like just a black darkness, maybe something sucking the light. Yeah, maybe a hovering, haunting, just a blanket of kind of evil, just no good, has nothing good to do or say, or maybe trying to grab you too, maybe trying to, because I would have to like be strong. It almost felt like it was trying to take my soul. That's what was terrifying about it. Like if I gave in or something, it would like take me. Yeah, it felt like that. You had to really uh, get real focused and like pray and meditate that out of your mind. So it would be like yeah.
That sounds cool to have in the back wall right here.
Hopefully it doesn't
It's like
invoke anything.
the head of me or
Yeah, I know.
So you mentioned art and drawing. Have you? Do you consider yourself successful in that?
No, I haven't done it as much as I should. There's life circumstances. There's this and that. Um, I'm productive as an artist. There's another thing that music took my attention away from traditional art for
Music.
a long while. Yeah,
Instrument, writing it.
composing and producing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and when I say that, people they go to like the. I wasn't, I never really been doing any like dance music or anything like that. But I did fall in love with music and music production and electronic music.
I'm actually a failed songwriter.
Oh no, you're not.
It's too many rules. I
Well,
gave up.
break them.
I gave up on like writing music, but I write movies now. So
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So I'm, and similarly with me, I have done things like that. You have like a desire and you go a certain direction. You kind of work it out. You're like, okay, maybe that's not my strength,
Hmm.
and you zigzag through things. I've tried other things, and I've realized that it's not really for me. Um, I love writing music, but experimental though. That's the thing.
Hmm.
I don't know how I would cut it as a pop artist if I had to write hits. I'd probably be miserable. But I could bang out some pretty good like weirdo stuff. That's kind of interesting. Maybe movie score,
That's kind
video
of how
game
I
score.
feel right now, like with film. Like I feel like I'm maybe a great indie film because I'm unique.
Yeah,
But if you start putting like corporate work or like Hollywood, I don't know if I could make it.
yeah, yeah.
Because
That's
once you get money involved, it sucks the joy out of it.
it sucks the joy out of it, and there is a formula to it, and you know, people, customers, clients, they don't want to rock the boat.
Right.
The irony is that sometimes when they take the risk and they actually have a real artist do something unique, it's a wild success, but they won't take that risk.
It doesn't happen often.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't happen often.
But are you like a full time like creator or you have a do other stuff on the side? Like I'm trying to understand.
Oh yeah, I have never been able to sustain myself 100% by my art. And when I say my art, expressing myself, painting or making music how I want. I mean that's rare. That's hard to do. I have been self-employed and definitely provided for myself utilizing my skills. Graphic design. I've done some film.
I figured out a long time ago I can't do it by myself.
Yeah, yeah. That's
It's a lot of pressure, and the more people you get involved, the more easier it becomes. But then you have different issues.
you have different issues, and you just come to those points in your life where I think I have it in me, but the sacrifice I would make is a lot of relational sacrifices. I'd have to be one selfish son of a bitch for a very long time, and then maybe I make it and get wealthy, or not just wealthy, but okay for myself, and then I could be Mister. Hey, come over and have a barbecue because I'm doing okay. But that 10 years of the grind, people forget who I am, and I cut off all those relationships to climb that mountain.
That's kind of where I'm at
Just
right now.
balance,
That's where I'm at right now. But I don't. I just want to make enough art to like for it to pay for itself.
Yeah,
Where I don't have to pay for it, kind of thing.
of course.
I don't want it to be like my full time job
Yeah,
because, like, again, it sucks the joy out of it.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
it does. You know, at the age of 40, I have come to the conclusion that it still is a lot of work, just like a full time job. There is not a lot of just fooling around and going off of your inspiration. I chased that a lot, the sort of the dopamine release of art, because there is a lot when you're in the groove, when you're smitten with inspiration. There's nothing stopping you, and it's really fun. It's the most exhilarating thing when you're in love with the piece and it's coming together. That's cool. That's cool, and that happens. But it's not going to be all the time. There are to sustain yourself, to provide for yourself. You also have to do art when you don't want to do it. Get your ass out of bed, and there's a huge amount of discipline. Probably the whatever that law is called. Is it Pareto law? 80/20. The 80/20. It's 80% grind and 20% pleasure, probably. And you, this is for all artists out there who don't know. Um, you have to work your ass off.
And that's for anything in life,
and
though.
it's for anything in life. It's also a job.
Yeah.
So you can. So that being said, if to sustain yourself by art, you have to 80% of your time grind in a way where you're actually not really enjoying it. You're just kind of doing it, and then 20% you're enjoying it. Well, there actually is nothing wrong then with having a full-time job. Just consider that the same as grinding on your art. It's just a grind. There's a grind to it. This full-time job will pay your bills and then work on art on the side that you completely don't care about the
You
result.
know how exhausting that sounds?
It is, but that it's the same. The irony though, it's the same amount of work as sustaining yourself only with art. You can't escape the grind of it. That's my kind of my point. Life's a bitch. You just you. It's with anything really. I think with online we see everybody this
You
and
see
that.
the good stuff.
You see
they
the
don't
good.
Never see.
You see the tip of the iceberg, but also you see people who kind of flaunt their success, but you are not seeing the tidal wave of support they had, the grants, the some people may seem like they're middle class or whatever, but they actually have a sweet situation where their lifestyle is basically paid for. A grandma died and they got $100,000 or something. That's not that much, but actually it's a big deal when that can pay for your life expenses for 2 years, where you can literally just make art in your room for 2 years, and then you get the momentum from there, and then you get noticed, you get success, or something like that. I think like for me, that's all I ever wanted. Just somebody just pay me to just food and lodge and just make me do art for a couple of years. I promise it'll pay off. I have never had that privilege.
Right.
I've always been struggling to do art on the spare time I had. And I think what I'm saying is online, we all see all these people, and you don't really see what's behind the scenes, like what you're saying. Either the huge amount of grind or the huge amount of privilege,
Or the scam.
or
There's that too.
or they're shortcutting, scamming,
You're right.
paying other people. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that. And then also artists that have inspired us. There is that whole thing of they didn't really become famous until they died, and also their lives were miserable, drunks, sleeping in the park, horrible relationships, and 10 of their paintings become famous after they commit suicide or something. It's like, I don't know, you shouldn't aspire to that.
Right.
That's actually not that cool.
Well,
So
most artists, if you really look up their stories, it's a bunch of stories like that.
it is, yeah, it is. It's kind of dark. It's not good.
Talking about dark, what is the hardest thing you've gone through in life or in your career that you're willing to share,
So professionally
professionally or personally?
or personally, um, man, hardest thing,
This podcast. I'm just kidding.
No, that's okay.
Had people tell me that.
They're just. It seems to be a constant with me. A constant. There's always a force, or a situation, or a circumstance that holds me back or keeps me from kind of breaking through. That's how I feel. I don't know if that's me just whining.
Stuck? You feel stuck?
Not stuck as much as yeah, a little bit stuck, but more yeah, I guess stuck because yeah, if I do this, there's a consequence, and then there's no direction I can go. It's just tough, and I'm like, okay, well, the only answer is work harder, and it's like more time, I guess. Okay, do I get up at 3 in the morning and only sleep a couple hours a night? I just can't do that. There's just always a limit. There's always something, always a door shut. I've had a lot of good things and a lot of bad things happen to me in life, and I those things have ever really been the factor. It's kind of weird. It's just this constant barrier.
Mm.
So it's just surviving.
I don't want to just survive though.
Exactly. That's exactly the feeling. It's a terrible feeling. You know, I can, and maybe I should be thankful for that. But it's like, dang. Well, then it's like, well, God, take this desire away from me. Then I don't. Fine. You know, surviving. Just give me a simple mind where I don't have inspiration or desires, and you know, I actually envy people who kind of they're just day by day living their life. You know.
I also think that maybe the way the economy and society is working right now is really hard.
Yeah.
And we live in California, which is really expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're crazy
Right.
or are the only one that's stuck. Um, like you said, life's a bitch.
Yeah, life's
It's
a bitch,
just-
and I know I'm not alone. I mean, I have tons of friends who are also artists, and we all sit there and drink beer and bitch about the same thing. So I mean, it's and I'm 40 now, so this has been 25 to 30 years of the same complaint, and nothing has changed. And you know, I have like the old father figure in my head. You know, you just gotta man up and work harder.
I think also there's more competition, especially with AI.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything, it's always catching up or trying to outpace something, whether it's a technology or an economic situation or age or competition or whatever. It's just, I mean, the gear that you have to get into to succeed is
But also success is in the eyes of the beholder because everybody has a different definition.
yep.
I was talking to a coworker sometime last week or so, and she's an actress, and I'm like, cool, cool. Do you consider yourself successful? She goes, well, I live off of it. I'm like, damn, good answer, but I'm a filmmaker and I don't make any money. Does that make me bad?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So it's just like you you can't scale it with money.
No, no, you can't. I don't think so. Well, that goes back to that thing with I'm at that point where I do think a good strategy is do the full time job, pays for your expenses, make that the process of your art. You know, when you're doing art, you still have to mix the paint, you have to wash the sink, you have to build the canvas, you have
Well,
to.
art is work as well.
There's just
that what
there's,
you're saying?
yeah, there's just work that's involved in it. So clump in your full time job, call that the artistic process, include that in. It's just a mental way to feel don't feel so bad about doing like a full time.
Well, I also see it as when I work, I'm feeding myself, and when I'm doing art, I'm feeding the soul.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of all just necessary.
Right.
And so just do that, and then because the good thing about the job is it's paying you, so you're sustaining your lifestyle at least in a basic way, if you hope God willing, and then after that you really can create with complete freedom because you don't really care about the money. There's a little bit of a advantage to that. I've kind of that's kind of where I boiled it down. That's where I'm at.
Have you made money off your art?
Yeah, my art does sell.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
What's
Yeah.
what's the
And that's a
most you made?
blessing.
What's the most you made in a piece?
My 2,500.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thankful for
How
that.
long did you work on that piece?
Those.
And what was it?
It's about. I've. That's what I've done that probably 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
Um,
Then you, sir, are successful.
yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people can't say that,
Right.
and I am very thankful for that. I do kind of, you know, the market for that stuff. It's actually quite under. Like if you were to maybe assess, those paintings are probably in the 5,000 range. You know, um, going the traditional route of selling and maybe kind of waiting. But I negotiated it, and I also want the money now. So
Yeah.
they did
Yeah.
sell like hotcakes, but I just took a huge discount.
Where were they? Where did you sell them at? Like,
So I would post it, and uh, friends and family basically.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just people who I know reaching out. I want that, and then I'm like, oh, I can't charge this guy. He's a friend of mine. I can't ask him what I probably should, but um, that's I'll take it. You know what I mean? That's great. That's rent.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, probably about 40 hours ish into those paintings, kind of in that, and that's like if I were to clock like working,
Yeah.
but it takes me a month or two, something like that.
That's why it's expensive.
Yeah, yeah, and probably $300 to $400 in materials. The paint, canvases,
So
brushes.
people put it into people's perspectives because this stuff is pretty pricey.
Yeah, it very much is, and I think people, the common folk, they have no idea what goes into a painting, the time, and also they forget about the materials. Average Joe on the street is probably gonna want to spend $300 to $500 on a painting, no matter how big it is, and it's like, I mean, that's me paying you to do the painting. I mean, that's how much it costs to in materials only.
No matter what size, right?
Well, no, I mean the ones I'm doing are smaller. You start obviously cutting costs in half, but I like to paint a little bit bigger.
What do you normally paint? Or
What
what kind of stuff?
what stuff?
Yeah.
So I like Salvador Dali a lot because I like he sort of painted landscapes, but kind of completely from his imagination, not really Bob Ross kind of just nature for the sake of nature, but almost like it's alien, but only because he just painted it from his imagination. And then inside there were strange objects and strange subject matter that told a story, but like a vague story. And I like stuff like that where there are it could be a person in a certain pose. It invokes a little bit of emotion, but actually, the more ambiguous, the better. Meaning
Abstract.
abstract in the sense of like the meaning of it. I want people. It could kind of mean whatever. It's not so on the nose.
I always got in trouble for writing like that. People are like, when you write a script or a story, the audience has to know exactly what you mean. You can't make it abstract.
Oh, that's bollocks. That's stupid.
Well, if I want to make it in Hollywood, I have to write very meaningful.
Yeah, well, because they're exactly because
Formats, like you mentioned.
well, there are conventions like to make money. People want to hear certain stories. People are also working hard and struggling. When they go to see a movie and spend their money, they want a story of hope or something super relatable. And unfortunately, it gets to the common denominator, boiled, boring, formulaic, same story kind of thing.
So
Yeah, you're going against the grain with
right,
that.
right. And my first photo shot today. What would you advise me to do today?
For a photo shoot.
Yes.
Oh, well, what kind of photo shoot? Can I ask a question?
I have models.
Oh, you have models?
Yes.
Well, cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I do know that lighting is super important. So study up on that, and there's something about lighting that is you can kind of experiment, but there's also there is a little bit of like there's a good way and a bad way to do it.
Well, I'm going with the camera.
Yeah.
And with one dream, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, also with anything, trust your gut and and just really think about what you are seeing before you start snapping pictures, and you should be successful. If with anything, you just put thought into it and you put care. If you care, it'll come out good.
Solid advice.
Yeah, because we always don't have the best gear at our hands, but you know you could take an amazing picture with the light from the window. You can have zero gear. You know?
Yeah. There's always editing
Yeah.
too, but I don't. I have a good eye.
Yeah.
I always.
Yeah, good. Yeah, you just have to have an eye.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But with the digital stuff too, also like for every 100 pictures you take, there's only one good one. So go nuts. I mean, just shoot your butt off, and you'll have that eureka, aha.
Just one. Just that one
Probably.
shot. Yeah.
One or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the reality.
Yeah. I can live with that.
But you don't have a camera film roll, so who cares? Just you have a digital camera.
Right.
I'm assuming.
I got two.
Okay, yeah. Just
What are you working on? What's next for you?
oh, right now I'm actually gearing up to do some more pieces. So I'm doing art, traditional paintings. That's all I've got creative going on right now. I have like probably 4 musical albums worth of music, but that's totally on hold. So that's
You have 4 that you've been working on, or
like hours of music, like 30 or 40 songs.
okay,
So
unreleased.
well,
Or-
they're in various stages of completion. So
Okay.
really rough to just needing to be mixed and mastered, but a huge amount. And I need to just kind of stop and finish it all. But I have no way of doing that right now. So I'm focusing on painting, and I currently have 5 or 6 canvases. I build my own canvases, so they're ready to go. And I just got.
Which one do you love best, painting or music? And you have to pick.
I actually I do it. I like music.
Yeah.
Music is the number one. It's the top of all art, in my opinion.
Okay,
It is the best art form there is.
I would disagree. I'll say
Yeah,
film
yeah,
is,
that's
but
okay. That's okay.
music is good too.
You know why film is second best?
Why?
Because it uses music.
It does. It does. Score.
Yeah, scores are so important.
Good point. Okay, you got me there.
No,
Can't
well,
argue that.
you know what's funny is you're probably right, but the weird thing is why I like music more is because I think film is so encapsulating, it's visual and audio, that you're immersed, which does make it actually a more immersive experience.
But music is more universal.
So music I think makes you look a little more inward because it's almost like you're blind, so your imagination kicks in a little more with music. Okay. And then also since music is just music, there's a little bit of a primal sort of, whether it's making you move or there's just something the emotion it invokes.
More internal.
I just get more out of it. But film is like the most sophisticated because it's everything. I mean, it's a picture. Oh wait, but it moves, and then it's the audio visual experience, and it's so rich. I mean, man, it doesn't really. And I guess you start getting to like 3D stuff, but I mean, that's just another way of watching a film.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with you, but I also just music is the top for me. If I had only one more art form to experience and or make, it's music.
Okay. I can live with that. Any final thoughts before we head out, or that you want to share?
Final thoughts are, I think that art is vital to life, whether you're an artist or not, or whether you're somebody who appreciates art or not. I think everybody appreciates it. Some people just aren't aware that they're appreciating it, because buildings, the way these guys that like are arguing about Chevy or Dodge or Ford, You know, the funny thing is they may talk about like what can tow more or whatever, but they just like the way the truck looks. It's true. They it's just because it looks sexy, it looks badass, and that's why they like the truck. People pick their cars because of how beautiful they are, and there's a lot of design. They're always like sexy and sleek. And you ever notice how cars are? It's just they're always it's design, but we don't even really think about that it's art that's literally like pushing the entire auto industry. It's sculpture, and we don't think about that. And that's one example of thousands. Everything is an art, and I don't think art is threatened at all as like a thing. It'll always be around, but it can also still. I think it deserves more respect. You know, I think artists should be supported a little bit more.
I think they're still better than teachers.
Oh
And I
yeah,
think teachers should be supported more so
yeah.
than
Well,
artists.
absolutely. I I can't disagree with that.
Yeah,
But I'm not saying I'm not necessarily ranking it as
Right,
like a
right.
what's more important.
that's true.
But as an artist, that's where I'm gonna come from. But man,
'Cause, yeah, we're artists.
I mean teachers. Well, because art is an intellectual thing, and that should be woven into school, and teachers should be teachers should be teaching, and also advocating for art. Art art is in mathematics. Theoretical math is art. Geometry, physics. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to end this podcast, but we can go into all kinds of
You
crazy
say
stuff.
because numbers and letters are involved together, and that's where you lose.
Oh, well, you're starting to get into like golden ratio, Fibonacci stuff. Yeah, you're getting that's a big one to unload.
Yeah,
But anyways, we need to support our artists. We need to take time, smell the flowers.
yeah.
This world is also a work of art. You know, look at the sunset, look at the trees, observe it, really meditate on it. It's good for your soul. It'll calm us all down.
Where can they find you?
Anthony Moore Works. That's all you got to do.
Yep,
Google
yep.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.